Welcome back to Nocturnal Journal on WGN. Here's a segment we've been looking forward to for a very long time. We're going to pay tribute to the Stay All On, I call it the disco, Stay All Night nightclub over there in Stone Park, which was 79 to 94, a high time for Vanna White. The Stay Out Band did a record where you did that song, Vanna. And we have the band in the studio with us, and we have drummer, vocalist, Bob Cesario. Bob, how are you?
Hey, how are you, Dave? God bless you.
And Bill Robinette, my old friend from the Stay Out, the old manager. Nice to see you, Bill.
Hi, Dave. Good to see you again.
Okay. So let's do Stay Out 101. I mean, I was a participant for a while, but tell us what it was. 79 to 94, 1616 North Manheim Road, Stone Park. So, Bill, why don't you talk about, that's how I met you, I think.
It is. It certainly is, Dave. Everybody came there. I mean, it was open all night long. At one point in time, we had a 23-hour liquor license. Went from 10 a.m. to 9 a.m. We didn't stay open 23 hours, personally, but a lot of clubs in the area certainly did. Everybody came there. Football players, hockey players, basketball players, wrestlers. Well, I was involved with the WWF at the time. I was doing the ring announcing at the Rosemont Horizon.
I do remember that.
And in fact, you were in Baltimore one time with the Bulls.
I was.
You were covering the Bulls one time, and you were in Baltimore in a bar, and you looked up on the screen, and I was on the screen.
That's true.
So, yeah, I've done a lot of things, and of course, if you would have told me 20 years ago that I'd be Santa Claus at the White House, I would have never believed that.
We'll get to that, too. Okay. We got a lot of time here. But you know what I remember about the Stay Out? You had the circus people there, the Ringling Brothers people.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about that. They would come after they were probably at the Rosemont. You weren't that far from
Right. Well,
Rosemont.
I used to do a circus party for the Ringling Brothers people, and they all came. Some pretty amazing people.
They would juggle ashtrays?
Well, no, not really, but we had the high wire walkers that literally, walked on this high wire with no nets.
At the club or in the circus?
No, in the circus. But they had a 10 o'clock show in the morning, and they were still there at 7 o'clock in the morning. So, I was really worried about their well-being.
Bob,
Yes.
how did you get into the Stay Out world?
How did I get into it?
Yeah,
Well, I was a bouncer there.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I started out as a bouncer because we had gone from a country and western bar to a disco.
Was the Stay Out one time a country western bar?
Oh, yeah.
No, it was a rock and roll bar.
Well, it was
the Earth Lounge.
We had some country and western sons in there.
Yeah.
And
so you were a bouncer.
So yeah, I was a bouncer. We were going through a transition at that point. And next thing you know, we're at disco, and then Bill and I started playing together, and the rest is history.
Well, how'd the band form, right?
Well, you're right. It was actually it was by accident. I think a buddy of mine or the DJ had a set of drums in there. Bill started playing. We got another guitar player, maybe later on, but it was just him and I doing centerfold for Jay Giles' song.
Band, yeah,
right.
Yeah.
It was a Jay Giles song. It was our first song we did.
And let's prop the original band. Who are the original band members?
Oh my gosh, there was Bert maybe, and
no, it was me, you, Jimmy Johnson was on keyboard and saxophone, and we had several different guitar players through the period. Mark Ellman was one,
right?
Bert,
and
Jimmy Kidd, so on and so on.
So we heard the Vanna song. You did a record. That was about 87. Tell us the roots of that song, and did you guys know Vanna White?
Well, my dad, it was a labor of love for my father to do this album.
Uh-huh.
It was, the guy...
Tell us who your dad was.
Well, he was a monster. His name's Vic Caesar.
Mm-hmm.
And he opened up Caesar's Palace in 66, had his own club in 68. Count Basie, Duke Ellington, West Montgomery, Cannonball, they all played there. He was a jazz cat from the 50s in Chicago, playing... the Le Bistro on Rush Street. So anyway, he winds up producing Hefner's Girlfriends, and he wrote Nixon's campaign.
Yeah, now tell us about that. Don't skate over that.